Hey guys, new today. Welcome back to a new series. Welcome to a new series. I did the tier lists in the last transfer window. I know I've not been YouTubing for a little bit. Apologies for that. A lot of stuff going on. Not really had the time to do it, but we're back now. Should be kind of slowly but surely getting things going as we go through pre-season. One thing I did want to do during the transfer window is this series. It's called the tier list. So every week, every Monday, you will get a review of all the players that have been linked with Manchester United. I am going to go through the BBC rumours page for each day and pick out who's been rumoured. And then from there, we'll look at, say, the person themselves, what I think of them, how likely I think it's going to happen. With that, there hasn't been an absolute ton of players being linked with United this week. However, we do have some, so I'm going to put them together. Normally, I would say we put them separate, and we'll do the ins and then the outs. But because there's so little of them this week, I've decided to put them all in one go. So we'll start with the ins first. So firstly, we'll start with Victor Joarez, currently at Sporting Lisbon. Scored more goals than he played, more goals per game than he played last season. I think it was 54 in 52. Striker is needed. Striker is very much needed. I think Joarez, I'm going to give it a 75%. Purely on the basis that I do think this will happen. It looks like United are primed to take him from Sporting. Doesn't look like anyone else is involved. The only other team that was involved at one point was Arsenal. They're seemingly looking at Sesko now. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. They're going to try and get Sesko from Red Bull Leipzig. So it kind of opens it up for Joarez to come to United. He's obviously worked with Amorim. He'll know the system. He'll know how to play. The only thing is he's not Premier League proven. He only played at Coventry and in Swansea's team and Brighton's Youth Academy, I think it was. So, not properly Premier League proven. However, I do think he will be able to get more goals than Rasmus Højlund in the Premier League. So, that's always a bonus and a plus. So, I think it's a 75 for now. That may go up to 100% going forward. Yeah. Next, a bit of a surprise one that came out of a little bit left field. James McAtee. Now, McAtee is currently at City. He was recently left out of their Club World Cup squad, leading to rumours that he might be moving across the City to United. He is an attacking midfielder, 22 years of age. City are known for very hit and miss with their youngsters, especially their English youngsters. They can do very well. Phil Foden is a prime example, although he has dipped off. They can do quite badly. Jack Grealish, Jim Rodwell, Calvin Phillips. The list goes on there. I think that McAtee would be a good addition. Whether I think it will happen, I'm not so sure. I don't think it is one on the list so far. I'm going to give it a 25%. I don't think it's completely out of the realms of possibility. But I just think it's not as certain in a sense. Next is Jean-Philippe Mateta, currently at Crystal Palace. I like Mateta. I think he would be a good addition. Obviously, Premier League proven. A lot of the stuff coming from rival teams or rival fans is that United are buying from lesser clubs, and look at the situation there. Like, United have bought from lesser clubs throughout the Premier League. We bought Rio Ferdinand from Leeds United when they were kind of mid-table, kind of pushing European football. We bought Antonio Valencia from Wigan when I'm pretty sure they got relegated that season. Possibly not, I'm not sure. And not even just United. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool bought Robertson from Hull the year they got relegated. Obviously, Chelsea bought Caicedo for 100+ million from from Brighton. So big clubs do buy from smaller clubs, and it's well known. I think Mateta is a very good player. Whether he fit the actual system we're wanting to play, I'm not sure. I think it's less likely than Joarez. I think it's more likely than McAtee. So I'll give it a 50%. And we'll go straight down the middle for that one. I would like him in. Whether it'll happen, I'm not sure. And also the whole thing of Cunha, Mateta writes itself for a chant. So it'd be good to get that in. I don't think the whole fan base is set on that, and it's a bit of a joke thing for a lot of rival fans, but it is what it is. I don't know how you want to feel about that one. Next, Brian and MBEUMO. Now, United have put 2 bids in so far. One at 55 million plus 10 add-ons, I think it was. Or it was 55 total with a 10 plus add-on. And one at 60. This is getting done for me. I know that Tottenham are possibly looking to hijack it because they're trying to get John Frank in. But I think, from what I remember, MBEUMO said he wants to go to United. I'm pretty sure he said that. I think personal terms will be a formality. It's just arguing the fact with Brentford. I think that gets done. I think MBEUMO becomes a United player sooner rather than later. I think he becomes a United player before we go on tour in America. So I think that one's definitely a possibility. And finally, for the ins, Alexander Mitravich being looked at by a number of English clubs because apparently Al Hilal want to clear off some of their foreign players in terms of their quota. I'm not sure how Saudi League works, but that's apparently the reason why they want to get rid of Mitravich. Obviously, he is Premier League proven. He did it with Fulham to quite a good rate, but he also was at Newcastle and did quite poorly, so he can be very hit and miss. Again, I don't want to give it a complete 0, so I'm going to give it a 25%, but I think it's less likely than McAtee. That I don't think that would be the kind of a last resort player because he's being offered out rather than United wanting in. I think that MBEUMO and Joarez would probably be the 2 I would go for. Them 2 along with Cunha at the front 3 would be phenomenal. You're looking at, so it's, I think in the league, MBEUMO got 20 goals, Cunha got 15, Joarez, I know Joarez got 54 in all competitions. I don't know what he got in the league, but obviously he's in the Portuguese league, so it's different. So you're looking at good 30, 40 goals from the 3 of them. And that's a lot better than what Højlund, Ganacho, Xerxes, even Ahmad. Ahmad only got 8 goals, 9 goals this season. None of them have hit double figures. The only person I think that hit double figures this season was Bruno Fernandes. So it'd be nice to have some attacking options that can do a bit more and get us into double figures on their own personal basis so we can get some more goals. Goals were a big issue last season, I think, and it's going to be obviously the thing that we're going to try and fix first. Cunha does sort that out, and MBEUMO sorts that out. Joarez sorts that out. Mateta sorts that out. To an extent, I think McAtee and Mitravich would sort that out, but I think the top 3 there are a lot more likely to come in rather than the bottom 2. In terms of outs, there's only 2 I've seen. I know there's a couple others that I've seen as rumours, but I'm going purely off the BBC Rumours site just because it makes it a lot easier for me to do these. I'm going to try and do these on a Monday morning or Sunday night, just so I can get it out for you for Mondays. The 2 are Anthony, who is heavily rumoured to be going to Bayer Leverkusen. I think that's a 75%. Ten Hag is at Leverkusen. Ten Hag likes Anthony, and the rumour is that they're willing to match it was the 40 million euros, 35 million pound for Anthony. So, yeah, I think that's near enough a done deal. The other is Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund, for me, needs to move on. I don't think he's good enough for... I don't know whether he's good enough for the Premier League, let alone be good enough for Manchester United. He's just not a Premier League player for me. I don't think he is. Some players thrive in better positions. Look at McTominay in Serie A, playing a bit more attacking in a league that's possibly, you would say, is a little bit more slower than the Premier League, maybe a little bit more less robust. He thrives out there, and he's gone and won Serie A with Napoli. I think it would be a similar thing for Rasmus Højlund. I think Serie A suits him better. Rumoured to be going to Inter Milan. They are monitoring his situation. It looks like there's a possibility of him moving there. I'm going to give it a 50-50 for now, because it's only a monitoring stage and that means nothing for me. Unless a bid's put in or it feels more likely, then I think that I'm just going to keep it in the 50 for now. It's bordering that kind of 75% basis. But for me, there are others that are due to leave as well. The information from David Ornstein this week is that Ganacho's going. Where? I don't know. I think he does go. The only reason I've not put that on here is because he wasn't given a club or anything like that, or he wasn't on that rumour page. So I know that Ornstein, Romano, people like that are near enough. Their word is gospel. So I do believe that Ganacho is gone. It's just where, basically. Well, we'll talk about that possibly next week if there's any information that comes up. But that is it, guys, for this week's transfer tier list. If you have liked this series, please leave it a like. Comment with what else you want to see on this channel for Leeds United. I am going to try and do some opinion pieces when I can think of any. Think of any opinions that I have. But yeah, this is going to try and be the weekly one throughout the transfer window. I do like doing these tier lists and kind of giving my thoughts on transfers in and out. So I think this is the best way of doing it, once a week, with what I can find from the one source I would say is probably the most likely to give me correct information in terms of a gossip or rumour column. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, subscribe if you are new, like this video if you've liked it, and until next time, guys, take care.